Alrighty, welcome to Bring Out the Heat. It's a new segment, obviously with players coming back. They've been showing us some new heat on their feet. All right, and how can I showed you a few of these? I just want to get your
Mhm.
general opinion. People rocking some Kobe's. All right, to my boy. Some PG, some new Converse. A lot of brands now coming out. Pumas, and we don't rock with Puma. All right, I should make that very clear on this podcast. We're not rocking with Puma. We will speak for Matt on this. We will not rock with Puma. Okay. We won't rock with Converse. We're specific. We're gonna be Nike gang at this point. All right, Nike gang, ride or die. So you guys might be seeing my shared screen. I think Kevin might be in the corner. Not sure, but we'll start with the first one. All right, let's start with these top ones. Dwight Howard's rocking some Kobe nines. Kevin, what are we feeling here?
I'm sweating a little bit. I can feel the heat from here. That
Get some
shit's
heat.
good.
Let's get it. Yeah, I mean, I think this was Kobe's first time going high top before he said, "Nah, I'm gonna go low top from now on." They're like, "Okay, sounds good. You're probably our most valuable athlete at this point, so we're gonna do whatever you say at this point." I did like
I
it
love the
more.
high top. I love the like Back to the Future kind of look.
Oh yeah, for sure. Definitely got those Nike Mag vibes at that point.
Yeah,
Uh, let's go on to our next one, the PG4s, the Clipper colorway. How are we feeling here?
not bad. I've seen worse shoes, worse colorways. But not really impressing me. Lukewarm water.
Lukewarm water. You know what? There is some heat here because I threw him in the dumpster and lit it on fire. Okay, this is trash. Paul George, what are you doing? Okay, man, you're in these meetings. What are you designing here? Okay, so I'll do a brief summary about with a shoe. There's actually very little technology in it besides like some cushioning. Compared to other basketball shoes, there's something called Zoom, which makes all basketball shoes super comfortable. His doesn't have that. His is just air. Don't get me wrong, air is comfortable, but I'm just saying when you're considered to be like a superstar, no one's bringing out the heat, and yours is in the dumpster at this point. So I'm sorry to say this, I'm out on these. Let's go on to the Shea, now signed with Converse, which is also a subsidiary of Nike. He's wearing some Converse All Star BB something. I don't know. He's wearing some Converse basketball shoes at this point. How are we feeling? You think Shea deserves to be on this brand, or he deserves better?
Yo, what is this? 1990 Converse ain't shit anymore. At least for basketball. Like normal Converse, I can like cool if you want to wear them on your own. Special unique Converse? No, this is trash. This is absolute garbage. It's just red and gold, like nothing.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. And I don't know, this shoe when you look at it, just looks sloppy. Like it looks like it's been crumbled up. You found it from the trash. There's some like mics that were like hanging up on the telephone poles, and you finally
Yeah,
got it down. And you're like, Shay, you deserve better. If you see his Instagram, the guy's been rocking so much flame, and then he wears Converse, and you're like, okay, I'm done. I'm done with this guy. Let's just move on. All right. So Patty Mills and Mo Bamba, they rocking with Under Armour. I like this colorway a lot just because it reminds me of the Fiesta colors personally. But what are you feeling here?
no, I agree. I'm impressed because normally we don't really run with Under Armour. That's not our group. But I'm impressed. These are pretty nice. I wouldn't. I'm not sweating from the heat or anything, but they're pretty cool.
That's fair. Okay, so I gotta ask you, when it comes to 2K My Player, which brand are you rocking with then?
Oh, dude, Jumpman all day. Just saying.
Jump Man, let's get it. Okay, I see you. So you're saying like Nike's cool, but Adidas, get out of here. Puma, get out of here. Under Armour, for sure, get out of here. Okay.
If you sign with Under Armour or Puma in 2K, I don't want to be friends with you.
I didn't want to talk to you. Like, get out of my room at this point. Like, what are we
Yeah.
talking at this point? No, I totally agree. Moving on to some dad heat, I call. We see the Kawhi ones. I don't know if they have an actual name, but it's Kawhi's first signature shoe before the Omni ones. What are we feeling? I know it's a kind of bad picture, but I think it's enough to say that you got some opinions on this.
I think the shoe itself isn't bad. Like I kind of like it for especially for New Balance. Like okay, you bought something, but the color wave is just gross. Like it's just
Mm,
like that like light green teal thing, and then go a bunch of gray and black and yellow. It's just gross. I don't like it.
for sure. And this honestly, obviously, Kawhi was with Jumpman before it, but they had some. He thought he deserved more money. Obviously, he won the Finals MVP, so I don't blame him there. And then he lost the rights to his logo with Nike. He had lost it, and he lost the rights to do his little thing, which super sucks. But I totally agree. This colors combo is a little. It's definitely New Balance ish, but it's definitely whack for like a guy that won two titles with two different teams and his final MVP for two different teams. For a superstar, I don't know. I'm not feeling it. This is going in the trash for me. Let's go to the next one. Let's get some Jordan Jumpman diamonds here. All right, Luka Doncic has been running these since he signed with Jordan Brand. How are we feeling here?
I like these a lot. I think they're really simple, but still pretty sleek. I would never wear them because I'd get them dirty the second I step outside. But one piece of dirt on them, and they'd be ruined. They'd look like trash. But I think I like them a lot. I think again, it's really simple but impressive. I like it
for sure. And I think the thing with Jordan Brand is that no one wants to wear Jordan team shoes, right? No one wants to wear the Russell, the Mellow, or those weird Marquette basketball wears some of those shoes. They're just trash. No one wears that. Everyone wears Jordan 1, 2, 3, 4, so on, probably up to the 14s, and then they bring out this design. And I totally agree. I think it's sleek. It's just different because even if we see those little diamonds on the side, it just looks really cool. And obviously, if Luka's playing it, it's probably designed to play aggressive basketball too. But I definitely think these are heat. They're very subtle, but they're definitely something eye-opening, I guess you kind of say. Let's get into Zion shoes. This is a PE inspired from his brother, from Noah. How are we feeling about this shoe in the colorway?
I think we were talking about it a little bit before off air, and I get it's inspired by his little brother, so that's fair. That's looks a little messy in it. That's the kind of the point. The colorway is okay, but I think the shoe design in general is pretty cool. I like the overall design of it, so I can get behind it.
Gotcha. Yeah, and there's actually a few other players that are rocking this shoe with their own PEs. Kemba Walker has his own, kind of whack. Jason Tatum, super whack. El Ruiz is actually pretty cool because it's inspired from his Japanese culture and kind of stuff like that, which is super awesome. And I think I know we talked about this off air, but the Bayou Boys one, the Swamp.
Oh yeah.
Those were kind of sad. I think I really like those. But yeah, this one's shoe I appreciate. Colorway, I get it, the inspiration behind it, but it's not for me at least. Let's get into real heat, okay? We're going to talk about LeBron James, right? LeBron James released some shoes. This is the LeBron 17 with a crossover with his LeBron 3. This is the red colorway, and they have a navy blue colorway as well. How are you feeling about this?
I don't know if I love it or hate it, honestly. It's one of those where I'm not sure. I think I need to see it in game or something like that. It looks really cool, but there's something about it that I'm like, is that cool? I don't know. No. I know that's weird, but
no, for sure. And I think I told you off air, but that strap is actually a magnetic strap, so it locks in afterwards. But it's also not super snug, so you can't get your foot out or anything like that. But it kind of remind me of baseball cleats, something Ken Griffey would wear or something.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. I like the graffiti concept. It's super old school for early 2000s when graffiti was the coolest text ever. We don't rock the Comic Sans now, but I definitely rock with these. I mean, I like the LeBron 17s. We'll talk about them later. So I like to sneak peek. I didn't put it in here, but LeBron was seen wearing some LeBron 18s, some early release for next season. We'll have to see. Maybe he got some heat. This is some pretty low res. I'm not gonna lie. Just sneaking, stealing things from other websites. It's PJ Tucker, the sneaker lord, sneaker king, sneaker god at this point. Right? We've seen him, pancake lord at this point. Rocking some. I don't know the colorway exactly, but it's a Kobe Pro Tro 5 RPR boy. How are you feeling about these?
Lukewarm. They look like very basic basketball shoes. They look fine. I wouldn't give anyone shit for wearing them, but I wouldn't compliment anyone wearing them either. So.
Gotcha. So you're saying you hate Kobe Bryant? Is that what you're saying?
Whoa!
Just kidding.
Whoa.
Just kidding. We're not here to start some heat, unless it's with the city of Cleveland, Detroit, etc. You get the point at this point. Yeah. See, I'm a wide footer, and Kobe shoes, they fit super narrow. I can't rock with these. But kind of like you're saying, it's hey, that's pretty cool, and then kind of move forward with that. We got a few more. We'll skip those. Let's go to these. All right, these are the LeBron 17 Courage. You might have seen the picture on the back side, getting that more of that orange red flare kind of feeling. My guess is it's inspiration from the Chinese culture. I know it sounds super racist or whatever it is, but I don't have a good story for these. But what do you think about the colorway itself?
I'm in. I'm all in on this one. I think it looked so slick. Like this is what you wear if you're trying to show off. You know, if you're trying to flex on some people, you put these on and you go out on the court and you're like, I want to ball like LeBron. Let's go.
Facts. And obviously, the person wearing it is the goat himself. I said it. That's right.
Dang.
Yeah, I really vibe with this. I love Asian culture as well. I think it's a cool blend. I don't know what the inspiration was exactly, but it's a great colorway, and I think it's just a great shoe overall. Lastly, coming either tomorrow or the day after, it's the Freak Twos. This is the Niger colorway, I believe it's called, where it's inspired by his Nigerian roots from where his parents are from. How are we feeling about this for a two-time MVP, potential two-time MVP?
I think we talked about it a little bit before, like most of these shoes, but like I like it. But if you're two-time MVP, you can step it up a little bit. You can have some nice. I mean, look at go from the last LeBron to this. Not even compare. Come on.
For sure. I could see why other brands keep going to like other players go to other brands like the Puma or the New Balance because like no one's done anything with them yet. But I don't blame Giannis for signing with Nike. I just feel like Nike is just so innovative. Like for me, it's just mind blowing how you can think of so many different types of shoes. Like for me,
Yeah.
it's like I can think of like three shoes, and that's the one I wear like every day. Um, but yeah, I like the first ones better in terms of uniqueness with the like reverse swoosh that they had.
Oh, yeah.
But they're a little basic for me. These are probably just as good as Paul George. And you know what I did with Paul George? Threw him in the dumpster, get an and one, light it on fire. Hopefully you guys like that segment. Maybe we'll try to do different things, you know, as people bring in more heat uh, in the bubble. Let's get to our next segment, and probably the last one. Free agency, chase or let go. I brought a few players that are kind of entering the point that they need to sign a contract or they got to hit free agency, either as restricted free agents or as, you know, just unrestricted at this point. So I got a few lists. Let's start off with Brandon Ingram, obvious choice for the New Orleans Pelicans, having a phenomenal comeback season, in my opinion, and probably a most improved player this season. If I'm the New Orleans Pelicans, do I do everything I can to re-sign this man, or are we okay to let him shop?
You better do everything other than letting Zion go to make sure this man stays. Like this man is probably 40% of your team right there. Like he is the glue that sticks everyone together. He's dishing out assists. He's making threes. He's making good plays. He's the playmaker of the team. Like Zion's good. Don't get me wrong. Zion's amazing, but he's the one that drives up through the lane, gets the foul, and makes the free throws. Brandon Ingram's the one who's passing the ball to the open guy every time. He's the one that is making space. He's the one that's driving your whole team. Like, get out of here if you want to let him go.
For sure. I think we need to give acknowledgement that he's the reason that these Pelicans are even close to the playoffs, right? He's the reason that they got dubs this season. You know, Zion wasn't even there. Lonzo kind of fell apart for a little bit of the season, and then who else can you really rely on at that point, right? You have Drew Holiday, who's also been kind of inconsistent. But yeah, I totally agree. I think if I'm the New Orleans Pelicans, I'm going to put all my money towards Brandon Ingram because you have the future, right? The Lakers traded away their young core future so they can get AD, and that's working out for them. You need to do the same by putting all your money towards Brandon Ingram, Zion, Lonzo. You know, you guys have the youth at this point. Um, let's go on some sleepers. Let's talk about our boy Joe Harris, all right? Our three-point champ over here. I know we have the Kyrie comments not mentioning him. But if I'm the Brooklyn Nets, do I want a Joe Harris on this roster, or you know, it's time for him to move on?
I don't think you chase him too hard. I think honestly, if you can get him and have him resign for a little bit of money, not too expensive, yeah, sure. But I think at the end of the day, he's a bench player. Let's be honest. Like he's a good bench player. I think he does what he is supposed to do. He's like almost like a worse Steve Kerr kind of guy. Like he's just you throw him the ball, he gets a three. That's it.
Gotcha.
Like, I mean, I think he's good for that, but I wouldn't chase him too hard.
For sure. I know we talked about earlier, especially like if they want to chase a third star, you know, do you want to put all your money towards someone who may or may not be as consistent as maybe someone that's more of a superstar or all-star at that point? But let's talk about your boy, Tim Hardaway Jr. I know how much you're fond of this man. He's currently with the Dallas Mavericks, probably the third best player on this roster, which is a kind of a real shame just because like you have a Luka and a KP at this point. if I'm the Dallas Mavericks, am I giving all my money towards getting a scorer or someone that can create his own shot like Tim Hardaway Jr.?
I think Tim Hardaway Jr. actually adds a lot to that team, and I think he is heavily undervalued. I don't think he's a star by any means, and you shouldn't pay him like insane amount of money, but I think you want to try and keep him. I think he really is adding that other factor to that team that we don't really look at a whole lot. Like we look at KP, we look at Luka all the time, and we just focus on them. But you know what? So does the other teams. The other teams put their guys on Luka and KP, and then that leaves Tim Hardaway open half the time. I mean, why do you think Luka is averaging 10 assists a game almost pretty much? Because he has people like Tim Hardaway to throw the ball to, and then Tim Hardaway can just make an easy open three.
Exactly. And I think going along your points that we always keep our focus towards the superstars, the Luka, the KP, but they actually have a very interesting core. Obviously Dwight Powell got injured, but it was very like significant to their pick and roll game. Even Seth Curry, that guy came out from Portland, playing phenomenal. Don't get me wrong, he's no Steph. All right, he'll never be a Steph. Okay, let's make that very clear. Fans, you will never be like Steph Curry. Okay, never, ever, ever. Anyways, Tim Hardaway Jr. I totally agree. I watched him when he was in Michigan. I thought this guy could have real all-star potential, and I think he still can. Obviously, he's been overpaid several times, especially with the Knicks. But I think this is a great team for him to fit along, and I think the Dallas Mavericks, kind of what you're saying, he's very much a key piece for this team's success. I think even moving forward, it'll be interesting to see because obviously with the Euro talent, it'll be interesting to see how they can attract other European talent to also join this team, and maybe make a Euro squad and see how that works. Let's move on to your boy Anthony Davis. I know there was rumors, and I'm pretty sure he said jokingly about how maybe I'll go home, maybe I'll go to Chicago. Let's be real, he won't be, right? He's not going to Chicago until there's more security, at least in terms of winning. Obviously, this was a sign and trade, and he only has 1 year left with this season. Does Anthony Davis sign back with the Lakers, or does the Lakers chase Anthony Davis if they do not make the finals?
I think LeBron and AD together is such a scary combo. AD would be stupid to go anywhere else. I don't care how much another place is paying you. I think LeBron and AD are finals contenders almost every year. Like if they stay together for the next 2 years, like
For sure.
I think that I keep stumbling. That's the smart move to just stay with LeBron. Otherwise, he's going to be like Kyrie almost. Like going to be like the shadow of LeBron for a while, and then he's not going to win because LeBron is not where he is. I don't know. I think it'd be stupid for him not to stay.
For sure, right? Like realistically, it's the ultimate market. Like there's not many people that will say like I hate LA. Like no one hates LA. Okay, LA is everything. Especially if you're an all-star superstar, like you want to be in LA because you can market you. You can be in movies. You can be in ads. Like anything you want, you can do in LA. All right, they have all the resources. And look, once you sign with Clutch, which is LeBron James' friends, basically agency, you're in LA for life. All right. Draymond Green, like let's be real. After the Warriors, he's coming to LA. He's going to be joining LeBron. It's Clutch gang all day. I totally agree that Anthony Davis leaving would be the dumbest thing on his end, just because you're succeeding here more than you ever did with the Pelicans or the Hornets at that time when he got drafted. Like this is it. This is the place you want to be, even in the long run. Like you will never want to leave LA. Like that's it. Like Kawhi's never leaving LA. I just make that very clear. Like he's staying there forever. But I totally agree. Anthony Davis, LA, please, we enjoy it. Let's go on some sleeper. Let's talk about Montrezl Harrell again. I know we talked about it a little bit, but from a more definitive standpoint, if I'm the Clippers, do I want Montrezl Harrell for the contract that he wants?
I think Montrezl Harrell deserves more than the Clippers can possibly give him. I honestly think that. I think he can be a star center power forward on a lot of teams and make big money. And I don't think the Clippers have the capability to do that or want to do that. I think they're going to offer him an okay contract, and he's going to hopefully be like, no, I'm better than this, and go somewhere else where they're going to pay him big money. and get someone good out of it. I don't know.
No, that's true. I could really see Montrezl Harrell if the Knicks are doing a real reformation. I'm just saying Montrezl Harrell, maybe a Pat Bev join them. New York, like let's get it. Like I'm down for that. Like I could see them just being the older young guys to really help mature this team with under an RJ Barrett, maybe a LaMelo Ball there, maybe get an actual good coach, maybe my boy Tom Thibodeau as the guy to really build the culture on the Knicks. But I totally agree. Like I said before, the Clippers are on a ticking time bomb. They need to win now in these next 2 years to really say that, hey, we just traded everything away for two players that are going to probably walk on us if we can't even make it to the finals, in these next 2 years. We'll have to see how that goes. Let's talk about some sleepers. Our boy Bogdan Bogdanovic with the Sacramento Kings. Obviously, he's been getting the starting role now. After even paying Buddy Hield like a max contract, super weird that now Buddy's on the bench. Does Bogey deserve his money now for how he's performing?
I think absolutely. I think he's been the consistent piece of that team. I think a lot of that team has kind of been up and down. Like they've had some good games, they've had some bad games. I think Bogey's he's always performing on point. I think he's done a very good job of like doing exactly what they want him to do, like scoring and making scoring opportunities and everything like that. Whereas the rest of the team, like I love Buddy Hield, but he's just not consistent. I don't think he should be on the bench, but I think he needs a little to work on some stuff, and I think that's fine. But I think Bogey's just there, night in, night out, putting in the work and putting up the points.
No, for sure. Like he and like Darren Fox are an ultimate duo. It's a shame they don't have Marvin Bagley even for this season. He's just not going to be coming with them. But like Vladdy messed up, right? I think you paid, in my opinion, an unproven Buddy Hield. As much as I love him as a 3-point scorer, the man's been in the league for like 4 or 5 years. Not even 5 years, I'm pretty sure. Like 4 years, and you're like, okay, let's give him the max. Like, look, you have to be in control as a GM at that point when you don't have
Yeah.
superstar talent, right? These guys are still growing, they're budding. If you lose him to free agency, like let someone else make the mistake of overpaying him and not getting the results, right? For me, Bogey's been the most consistent in terms of scoring, in terms of overall all-around play. He's a great two-way player, kind of what you're going along with. Um, I don't know if they have the money to do it, but it would be a huge mistake if they let him go, at least go to free agency, and like they don't trade him at least. Lastly, let's talk about the defending champion Toronto Raptors, Fred Van Yeet, as our boy Matt would say. Obviously, Kyle Lowry is there. I think he only has one more year of a $35 million contract for Kyle Lowry, but Fred Van Vliet entering free agency. If I'm the Raptors, are we keeping this guy? This guy was, when he had a baby, all right, he had a baby and they won the title, all right? Do we keep this man?
I've been very impressed with him this year, and I think you keep him. I think most people would agree that like coming off the title with the Raptors, like he was good. He was pretty good then, but like no one expected him to keep what he did going and get better. Like he's a better player now than he was during their finals run. Like
Yeah, exactly.
I'm very impressed, and I think you just keep putting money into him, keep letting him flourish. I think him and Siakam, oh my God, that team is awesome. That team looks so fun to watch. They're so good, and I love it. Love it.
For sure, yeah. Like it's one of those teams where I don't like being that guy who keeps saying the same exact example, but it reminds me of the Spurs and where it's a bunch of like random pieces or like a bunch of undrafted guys or really underrated guys who kind of just came together and were like, hey, we should try to win basketball games. And everyone's like, okay, that sounds good. So we got Lowry, we got Mickey Dearboy, Fred VanVleet, Pascal, Marcus Gasol, like Serge Ibaka. Like the team's pretty all around. Even the bench, like Norman Powell and stuff like that. The team has really strong potential for running it back easily. I mean, under Nick Nurse, like perfect. Masai Ujiri, if he still stays, like maybe. I mean, obviously, won't be GM of the year this year, but the team has consistency for at least another couple of years. And like, if you let Fred VanVleet go, like that's a part of your big core. I mean, especially if you lose Kyle Lowry, especially just being aging and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna really enjoy this bubble. I think just like there's so much talent. Just obviously we miss it so much, but I think just hoping that the quality of basketball content is gonna be there is just gonna be awesome. And I think with that, Hey, back to you.
Uh, I'm excited to start up the season again, hopefully very soon. I think it's from the time we're recording this, 7 days, a week from today
Let's
is the
get
first
it.
game. Soon, very soon. Okay. Well, thanks for listening. Like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I think we have a Twitter. I don't know. Email us at the Deep Three Pod. Listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, other podcast sites, whatever you use. Yeah, I don't remember how this outro goes still. So yeah, thanks.
Did you mention
You're
our
cool.
email? Did you mention our email?
I did mention it. I said at the Deep Three Pod at Gmail. I think.
Okay, well, there you go. Yeah, just in case.
Yeah.
Email us
Email.
questions. Hey, we'd love it if you try to roast us because then we'll call you out on the next podcast. All right, we're not afraid. Okay, we will call you out if we lose viewership. I don't care anymore. My reputation is
It's like
not
5 years. So.
exactly. So look, it doesn't matter. So I guess that's it. Wear a goddamn mask.